What's worse than getting lost in a swamp? Getting lost with a shambling mound. This thing doesn't just chase you, it eats you. And the more you struggle, the tighter its grip becomes. If you're playing it like a slow-moving plant monster, you're doing it all wrong. Welcome to Monster Mechanics, where we break down the best ways to run D&D's scariest creatures. Today we're covering the Shambling Mound. The Shambling Mound is a product of nature's darkest side, a mass of rotting plant matter, vines, and swamp muck that somehow gained a mind of its own. Created by years of decay and arcane energy, it exists purely to feed, dragging victims into its crushing bulk and smothering them until nothing remains. They thrive in swamps, jungles, and other overgrown areas where they blend seamlessly with their surroundings. Many unfortunate adventurers don't even realize they're standing next to one until it's too late. And the worst part? You can't kill a swamp. Even if you chop it up, it just pulls itself back together, feeding off the energy of storms and the life around it. Let's talk about what makes this thing so terrifying. It's got an armor class of 15. Not too high, but respectable for a moving heap of plants. It boasts a hefty 136 hit points, making it incredibly durable, especially when you factor in its resistances. Fire barely phases it, cold as a joke, and bludgeoning attacks? Good luck. Oh, and let's not forget its immunities. Lightning doesn't just fail to harm it, it actually heals the thing. So if your players try to fry it with magic, they're in for a nasty surprise. This thing isn't just some brute, it's a hunter, and it has the tools to prove it. The scariest ability? Lightning absorption. Every time it takes lightning damage, it actually heals instead. Players who try to electrocute it are only making it stronger, and that realization is always a fun moment at the table. Then there's its multi-attack. 2 massive slams in a single turn. But here's where it gets nasty. If both attacks hit, the target is engulfed. That's right, swallowed up, suffocating inside a writhing mass of vines and muck. There's no saving throw to resist being pulled in, just an escape attempt or a slow, crushing death. And with blind sight up to 60 feet, it doesn't need eyes to hunt. Fog, darkness, invisibility, completely useless against it. A shambling mound isn't just some random monster you throw into a dungeon. It's a patient predator. It waits. It hides in thick foliage, in murky water, looking like nothing more than a pile of rot. And then, when the party least expects it, bam, vines snap out, dragging someone in. The key to running a shambling mound well is using the environment. Swampy terrain, deep water, low visibility. These are your best friends. And don't just have it sit there taking hits. Once it engulfs someone, it runs. It doesn't need to fight the whole party. It just needs to take one person, retreat into the murk, and digest them. And if a player tries to electrocute it, then watch their face drop when they realize they've just healed it instead. If you want to make the most of your shambling mound, don't just have it stand still and trade blows. It's slow, but it should feel relentless, always moving, always pressing forward. Don't forget its resistances either. If your party relies on lightning or cold, make sure they see it shrugging off those attacks. And above all, use its engulf ability. This thing should always be trying to grab someone and slink away with them. It's not a creature that fights to the death, it fights to feed. Want to make your shambling mound encounter unforgettable? Think about your party wading through a flooded jungle path, knee-deep in murky water. They see what looks like a fallen tree covered in vines. Then, suddenly, the vines snap forward, wrapping around the fighter's legs. Or maybe they're exploring an ancient ruin overgrown with moss and plant life. That pile of rotting vegetation in the corner, it moves. Or a massive thunderstorm rages overhead. Every time a lightning bolt cracks across the sky, the shambling mound grows stronger, absorbing the energy, becoming even more unstoppable. Just think about the sheer panic when the party realizes the storm isn't their ally. It's the monster's power source. And that is how you make a shambling mound terrifying. It's not just a monster, it's an experience. If you liked this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to Monster Mechanics, and let me know in the comments what creature I should tackle next. Until then, watch your step in the swamp.